Just one short step down the evolutionary ladder. Our cousins live wild and free. Here they invite us back beneath the canopy to learn their secrets, and perhaps secrets of our own. Shed your inhibitions and return to monkey. Humans, Earth's mightiest primate. In just under 3 million years, humans have established themselves as the dominant species on the planet. What sets us apart? Our ferocious intelligence and seeming ignorance for the natural order of things. But being so intelligent for so long does come with its drawbacks. It can be intellectually lonely at the top, and as a result, it's difficult for Homo sapiens to view themselves objectively. Enter Samson Dingleberry, world-renowned primatologist.
The great apes are truly extraordinary creatures. We know they're capable of cognition somewhat similar to our own. For example, we've seen them display empathy, and we know they're at least somewhat capable of understanding their environment and how to manipulate it. In chimpanzees and other primates, we've observed the fastening of stone tools, which means these creatures have literally entered the Stone Age. Generally speaking, I would say that some of the great apes have comparable to superior intelligence than about half of the human race. At this reserve, it's become mandatory for the apes to learn sign language.
And that is where Dingleberry's crew made a fascinating breakthrough.
Well, we always encourage the apes to speak frankly about their experiences and thoughts regarding humanity, and all of the apes give the same message. It hot. Human bad. Please let leave.
A cryptic message to be sure, but what does it mean? Should we be worried that these primates see humanity as a threat? Dingleberry thinks no.
Well, I sympathize with that fear, of course, but the idea that one of the apes would become the dominant species on planet Earth is mostly a product of Hollywood.
Take your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape!
The Planet of the Apes franchise has set my research back decades. To be 100% clear, it is completely preposterous to think that any of these apes will become the dominant species on planet Earth. For one, I think it's important to remember the reason we're here. I mean, human poaching has driven these creatures to near extinction. They simply don't have the numbers. And secondly, even if I were left alone to do my research and the primate populations completely rebounded, my best projections put a potential ape uprising anywhere from 50 to 100 years off. And in that timeline, human beings will have rendered the planet completely uninhabitable.
So then, what's the point?
Apes are cool, man. I don't know.
Ah, come on!
My name is Jolly Walton. That's me. For as long as I can remember, I've been fascinated by the oceans and making movies. My obsession with water, though, was born from spending full summers on my parents' yacht in Greece. After finishing college, I tried and failed to work for my father, but knowing the oceans were in danger, I just couldn't justify my 7-figure salary anymore, so I left to become a documentarian.
They're rolling.
I'm here outside of Triton headquarters, largest fishing company in the United States, where each and every year, millions and millions of fish are slaughtered. Legally, illegally, we don't know. Today, I'm going to be paying CEO Chuck Bundren a little unscheduled visit, trying to get an interview with him. He's also a personal family friend. Oh, it's locked.
It's a pull, not a push, man.
I've been repeatedly denied interviews with your CEO, Chuck Bundren. Is there someone here I could talk to?
Are you the dally guy that keeps calling and hanging out?
What are you hiding? Why are you denying my interviews with Chuck Bundren?
Man, you honestly think Trident is headquartered in Medford, New Jersey? This is a quality assurance location for local seafood. Trident is a third-party client. We were hired from somebody that was hired from them.
So you're telling me the CEO, the head honcho, is conveniently missing when we show up for an unannounced interview?
Yo, man, get this on camera. I told you could record here. Maybe that'll get to your thick-ass skull.
We had to leave in a hurry, and all of these setbacks were starting to get to me. And then suddenly, out of the blue, a glimmer of hope in the form of funding. Special thanks to Walmart Stores Incorporated, and on a more personal level, my mother and father, Jim Walton and Lynn McNabb. With this money, Oceanographers were more inclined to risk their lives to speak with us, and that's what we learned. The secret Big Fish doesn't want you to know. This brave man asked us to hide his identity for fear of his own safety.
Phytoplankton play a really unique role in the food chain. They're inexorably linked to every other species in the ocean, and by association land. These little itsy-beatsy guys produce 85% of the oxygen on Earth. That means the air you and I are breathing right now is just phytoplankton excrement.
I was in stunned disbelief.
Things aren't looking too good. The industrialization of the United States and other major world powers has really did a number on these guys. Sure, it's impressive that companies like Walmart have stores on every corner, and their nationwide distribution is nothing to laugh at either. But
Unfortunately, our mics died just as he was saying something interesting. But then, another stroke of luck. They turned right back on.
best projections have the oceans completely devoid of life by the year 2050. That includes phytoplankton. This is a real feedback loop looking situation here. Not only will it be harder to breathe for every animal on planet Earth, but the excess CO2 that's taken out of the atmosphere every year is just going to stick around. And of course, that means drastically higher temperatures.
So what can we do? Is there any hope?
I'm glad you asked. There's a lot of simple lifestyle changes you can make. Over the past year, we've seen just how resilient people can be. Let's just say I've seen a bunch of silly people hoarding things like toilet paper and gasoline, but it's a lot less silly to be hoarding something like oxygen. And that's why I've concocted a method of extracting oxygen out of the air and saving it for later. Now, realistically, what does that look like? Well, it looks like sucking in air with your mouth, sort of like this, and pushing that air into either plastic baggies or compressed canisters of some kind. Now, notice how I'm not bringing the air into my lungs. All in the mouth, baby. The second you bring it into your lungs, you start producing CO2 as a byproduct. That would be a rude awakening 20 years from now if you breathed in some of this stuff and died of CO2 poisoning. Really focus on the technique. Sucking the air in with your mouth, don't breathe it in, and push the air into your choice of apparatus. Getting a little lightheaded here.
This. Space is fun.
Hello, my name is Talking Stevens, astrobiologist, cosmologist, and something of a downer. Oh, I speak with Microsoft Sam as my default voice. In my mind,
I am free.
This year marked a monumental discovery in the backyard of our solar system. Researchers studying the planet Venus found vast quantities of the compound phosphine in
the upper atmosphere of our sister planet. Phosphine is a biological byproduct produced by life here on Earth. The vast levels of phosphine that were detected are consistent with a planet that is teeming with microbial life. It's by far the most concrete evidence for extraterrestrial life we have ever encountered. The implications of this are earth-shattering.
For the first time, it appears that life may be fairly common in the universe, even within the confines of our own solar system. Confusingly, Venus is one of the most inhospitable places in our entire solar system. It's a fiery hellscape
with an atmosphere almost entirely comprised of greenhouse gases.
Don't do it.
On Venus, clouds regularly rain sulfuric acid, and the planet is arid with volcanic activity. So where did this life come from, and how does it survive? I have theorized that the potential microbes present on Venus are the last remnants of a world that once harbored complex life. Venus's atmosphere is consistent with a barbaric industrialized species that clouded the atmosphere with greenhouse gases and eventually fell victim to a self-perpetuating feedback loop of heat and environmental changes. Any microbial life that we see today
has a grim future ahead of it. Nothing can possibly survive permanently on Venus in its current form.
Damn it.
Combined, I am Captain Planet! Captain